T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Aric Fiscus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Welcome.
Hello. Bienvenidos.
Episode 143 of the Play It By Ear podcast. And just to give you all a little background here, we in our software here, we can see each other in these little tiny screens on the bottom of our monitors. And our intro music is playing on the main screen. So I'm looking down, and I look at Brady's little screen, and all I see is this. Like, what were you doing? All I saw was your finger. Yeah. I don't know if you were adjusting something or what.
Oh, I don't know. I might have been adjust. I was trying to adjust the pitch and the yaw of my I
don't like your pitch and yaw. I don't like the what's it called? I don't like the something of your jib. What's the term?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't like the sailing term.
I don't like the look of your jib. Is that it?
Something like that.
I don't like the sound of your jib.
My jib is magnificent when I fly it.
I say you keep your jib to yourself. That's what I say. So we can also see people making comments prior to the show starting. So Joey in immediately. Joey, no one's getting doxxed tonight, and I hope you're not doxing anybody, but welcome. And he also says Jimmy's at camp with school, so I can catch the whole show tonight.
Nice.
So we get Joey's wisdom all show long.
Yes.
Except
oh my goodness!
Now
man, come on!
I don't like the cut of your jib, Joey. That's what it is, by the way. The cut of your jib.
Well, my question to you, Joey, is Deshaun Watson going to play this week, or is he declaring himself medically ineligible?
Nice. Oh, no, you didn't.
Boom.
I am stiff. I need a massage.
Look.
What is that?
The Brownies don't have one of those, a Super Bowl shirt. I made
we
it
love
through
you,
the 90s, Joey. Yes, we love you.
Joey, I feel like a bad human because Aric, we didn't even think about it. We made a quick trip to Cleveland last week. We went to a Reds and Indians game.
Yes,
and
sir.
I didn't even think.
Yeah, see, Joey, see how these guys are? Had I gone to Cleveland, had I even been asked to go to Cleveland, which I wasn't, had I even known they were going to Cleveland, which I didn't, I would have said, where's Joey? Let's find Joey right now.
You were working. You already had your fare. You didn't ask us to go on any excursions during your fare break.
Let me pander.
Pander elsewhere.
Would you pander, please?
would you? Yeah, show them that you love them. Speaking of the fair.
Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay, yay. Hello, Savannah.
Allison.
Been a while.
Trevor. Everyone I say is the same. I got to come up with different hellos.
The wifey's in the house. One of the wifeys.
That sounds like it's going to get you a restraining order if it wasn't your wife.
It was very Isaac Hayes like, and don't count on it.
I like if I said it that way, I would probably be on a no-fly list at the Griffin household. Hi, Celia.
All right.
Yeah, I put that comment. Yes, Deshaun Watson guaranteed that we will hate him with the guarantee contract. Indeed. And he says, "Damn, a Reds Cleveland baseball team game must be nice to have 15." Well, it was a little more than that, but yeah. Hello, John.
John.
Ellie hit the hardest baseball I've ever seen.
Oh, the video replay doesn't even do it justice because I watched the video replay of it, and that like you heard the report of it smacking off the whatever it smacketh off of.
Well, at first you heard the report from the bat, which echoed around the park.
Did John just use the word jib in a completely different way?
He did. It was a different use of jib.
It was. Yes, he capitalized it too. That makes it more important. I
thought he meant jab for one night.
Yeah, there's a lot of gibbery.
Jibba jabba.
I like the cut of John's jib. Hey, John.
John. Oh man, sorry, we're kind of being goofballish.
That's a lot of alliteration you didn't expect to hear. John jib. John Jacobs Gibberheimer Schmidt.
Yeah. Enough of that jibba jabba.
All right, gentlemen, let's look at the website.
Yeah, right? Yes. www.playbyyourpodcast.com. Check the website out. We'll mention
it. Brady. Do it.
Here again.
I probably won't be able to do that again.
I was trying to do a squeak sound, but I'm too hoarse.
Wait a minute. See if you get it right. Ready?
Right.
Go.
Oh.
And now there's one person left.
That's as dolphin as I get.
That's inhuman. Just like sharks.
I think sharks make those noises when you get real close to them.
That sounds more like a dolphin.
A dolphin.
A dolphin.
Is that how you really say the word?
A dolphin.
A dolphin. Her dog came running at the sound.
Hello, Amy.
I'm sorry I made your dog uncomfortable.
Another dog just cocked her head at the squeaks.
We should make that a segment. If we see what kind of reactions we get out of Dags when we're
Dags.
We've been teasing my animal sound episode for 3 years now.
This is true.
Amy's dog is a highly trained special therapy dog.
Really?
Yes.
Now I feel really bad for myself.
So in other words, Amy's dog felt that someone was injured, so it came running.
It felt a dolphin.
Or you could look at it that sound was so penetrating to the canine ear that even a highly trained professional dog had to come running.
A dolphin was hurt somewhere.
a dolphin.
Dolphin. Right there with the salmon.
All right. So if you've never been with us before, we have a topic and we have a game. I think Todd has our topic on the evening. Is that correct?
I do.
All right. And then I will have our game later. So, Todd, the forum is yours.
So first off, I have to give a shout out to Brady because Brady saw the heading on this topic and instantly thought of me. And because I typically handle the food topics. I mean, I'm not the only one, but I try to go back to a food topic every 2 or 3 topics, and we have a food topic. And the title of this is Once Popular Foods That We All Stopped Eating. So once popular foods that we all stopped eating.
I'm guessing in this group here, some of us may have never eaten them.
I was going to say, I don't think you ever started on. Yeah. So now I just skimmed through these. I didn't read much. It looks like it's the way it's kind of laid out is it has a decade that it was popular. created by, and then like a original price per serving. And as I skim through, I see some pics, and some of the pics I look familiar. So I think this might cross over into another topic. And this first one definitely is I'm having some deja vu here, and it is Igloo meatloaf. Igloo, and Aric, we're probably going to need some pictures on a lot of these. Okay. Igloo meatloaf, popular in the 1960s, created by unknown. Original price 30 cents per serving, and it looks exactly like it sounds. It's like a miatlawaf meat inside of a, I don't know what the outside's made of, a crust of some sort, a fat sheath, like a.
Okay, good Lord. I can put this picture up here. I did not expect this here.
And it looks like something egg yolky on top of it, splattered about.
I was guessing that it was an Igloo meatloaf, like it was one made for your cooler. Like the Igloo coolers.
No. Let's see if there it is.
It's an Igloo.
It's an Igloo meatloaf.
That's mashed potatoes, gentlemen.
Igloo.
That's mashed potatoes.
Is it
mashed
potatoes?
Gravies?
That's gravies on top.
That is the most apricot looking orange marmalade gravy I've ever seen.
It's rather gelatinous.
It's orange.
It is orange.
How could those green beans be so green, but that gravy looks so orange?
I don't think it's gravies.
I bet it's that or caramel sauce.
I think it's melted cheese. Sauce. I think it's melted cheese.
Well, so the whole idea, if you're listening at home and you don't have visuals of this, it is literally an igloo of meatloaf, and they have, Brady says it's mashed potatoes, but they have carved into the mashed potatoes the ice blocks of like an igloo, or like the blocks of like an igloo.
Yeah, outside, the exterior.
Yeah. So here's my thing though. This is literally just a regular recipe of meatloaf and mashed potatoes, but it's some creativity, and you have to be a daggone artist to pull this off. This has nothing to do with, like, I don't think it was cooked that way.
It's on the presentation.
It couldn't have been.
If you look real closely, if you look quickly, it looks like a turtle getting a vivisection.
I don't need the decorative forestry there with it. I don't understand that. Meatloaf doesn't need shrubbery around it to make it look fancy. It's a meatloaf, for goodness sake.
Everything in the 60s and 70s had parsleys with it. And some people claimed you're supposed to eat the parsleys.
I think Wendy's puts parsleys in their chili.
Along with their celery.
But do you guys agree that that isn't really maybe I should look here. Some things served up. Yeah, some things served up for dinner in the 60s look like feast of color pulled straight from the pages of Vogue. Others looked far less desirable, like this meatloaf igloo, surrounded by pink gelatin with a dollop of orange sauce on top. I said this dish was a favorite in some houses. So what's with the orange slop?
All right, so I'm gonna put this back up here.
So that's not mashed potatoes. It's a gelatin. It is a fatty. You guys laughed when I said a fatty exterior. It's what it is.
Maybe they are being facetious like we are, that it's not the literal. Maybe their description is being funny, that it's not literal.
Is that the recipe, Aric?
So here's the recipe.
Ooh, the recipe.
Hold on. There we go. All right, ground beast. The potato frosting is what the outside is.
Ew.
That's just mashed potatoes, Brady.
So spread over. It's mashed potatoes used as frosting.
But you see at the bottom of the potato frosting recipe is cheddar cheese.
Cheese slices, Aric. You called it.
There you go. It's cheese.
Well, that cheese looks translucent in that picture, though. I should be able to see the brickery of the igloo through the cheese.
Are you saying cheese is not opaque?
No, it shouldn't be.
Well, that wouldn't be opaque. I don't know. I mean, I have no problem with taking my meatloaf and covering it in an inch thick coating of mashed potatoes. That actually might be a very fine way to eat it.
Yeah,
it's a variation of the hot shot, but it looks like a cold house.
All
you
right.
just caught the cold house, didn't you?
I did. Are we ready for number 2?
We are. After you eat that, you probably are.
deviled ham pancakes.
I've waited until he took a drink.
Nicely played.
So this is popular in the 1960s, created by Aunt Jemima. Original price 30 cents a serving.
What's it called?
It's called deviled ham pancakes.
I don't want any satanic ham in my pancake.
In the 1960s, the company jumped on the canned meat craze to provide customers with deviled ham pancakes. According to them, combining a can of broken up pork meat with their pancake mix and topping it off with a hearty dose of butter and syrup was the next best thing. So yeah.
No, thank you.
So the picture just looks to me like regular pancakes, and then somebody opened up a can of deviled ham and sat it beside it.
Yeah,
there it is.
Like instead of chocolate chip pancakes, it's got hams inside.
Okay,
of it.
see, I thought maybe they mixed up the deviled ham in the pancake batter.
I assumed that also, but this is just layered like a sandwich.
Which still grosses me out. I don't like my meat and my syrup and pancakes to touch. I eat them on separate plates.
Agreed.
Like
some people put syrup like on sausage and stuff.
Oh, no.
Now, we've gone through this before. I like me a McGriddle, but that's rather tame.
What makes it even worse is when people let their egg yolks run right into their syrup and soak the bottom of their pancakes. Yeah. And see, that's where I'm right with you guys. I don't like that kind of nonsense.
No.
Where gold goes down the same hole.
But oh golly gee, Fiscus, it goes down the same hole.
That mean I have to taste it at the same time.
That's right. All right. So
Amy says syrup and sausage is wonderful.
Like I said, I like me a McGriddle, but I don't want it soaked.
I don't mind syrup flavored sausage. I just don't want. I don't like my sausage to be wettened. I don't like wet sausage. I want the only sausage wetness I want. I want my sausage arid, other than the grease that it's cooked in. You know what I mean? I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it like soaking in something. I just want it to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it brushes it, maybe, but just to soak it in syrup. No, can't do it.
You're soaking in it, Madge.
Yeah.
Dumb freaking commercial.
So I will say this. I think if people like Amy do like their sausage and their syrup and things to mix, I don't see where deviled ham would be much different as long as you are like frying the ham or something. I can't quite tell from your picture. It looked like slices.
Yeah.
The deviled ham is potted. It's not sliced.
Potted meat.
All right. Number 3. Tab. Popular in the 70s and 80s. Created by Coca-Cola. Original price, 5 cents a serving.
Tab was repellent.
Let me tell you about Tab. So first thing that was off-putting, if you ever picked up, when I was a small ute, and I happened to cross one, for some reason, one of my aunts or my grandmother had it. And first off, the bottle felt weird because it was frosted and it didn't feel right in your hand. So the whole texture of the bottle was terrible. And then he's like, oh, hey, this is soda. Yay. And then you drink it and it's like pure chemicals and saccharin and it's awful.
Well,
I got introduced to aftertaste with my first sip of Tab.
When I said it was repellent, I literally mean it was insect repellent, I believe, because that's what it tasted like. My mom had it in the house, and I'm here to tell you, I've never felt a sensation in my life like drinking warm Tab, like shotgunning warm Tab, and it like burns the inside of your ears and causes if you want to win a belching contest, that's how you do it. And the point to where before the belch comes out, it's a pain like I've never experienced because it's this gas bubble just my ears were burning.
That is the most traumatic soda tasting I've ever heard in my life.
That's how it got its name, because every belch sounds like Tab.
Yes.
It's like yeah. Every one is like a booger burp for you Revenge of the Nerds fans.
Which is actually a camel doing whatever camels do. But
oh, really? I didn't know it was a camel.
That's what the sound effect is.
Huh. All right.
All right. I've got some comments.
Oh, yes.
So real quick, Aric, before you put the comments up, can we put a face-to-face tab versus Diet Right away? That's just what wins.
Oh, I'll tell you. Remember what Die Right's nickname was? Die and Rot.
I actually got into a kick where I enjoyed Diet Right for a few years there back in the early 2000s. I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't mind it.
I believe Diet Right is from the RC Cola family, is it not?
It seems like they should be. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know Coke owned Tab.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the few places on Earth, one of the few sports venues on Earth that serves RC Cola is the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati. Because we had a couple birthday parties for PJ at Cyclones games, and you could buy all the food and drinks and stuff, and like trying to tell kids, okay, you get some RC Cola. Like,
what? That's we've had this conversation before. A certain basketball coach, PT time. You don't need to say the time because the T already covers the time.
Well, now wait a minute. RC stands for Royal Crown.
That's true. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But isn't there also a Royal Cola?
I believe there is, actually.
I think there is.
Yeah.
Then that's not the same then. My beef is with PT time.
Yeah.
OJ juice, TP paper,
tuna fish, or codfish.
All right.
So, next on the list.
Well, do you want me to put the comments up here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Treva is of the Syrup is Weird Club. So yeah, I guess Treva doesn't eat syrup on anything.
I like the smell and the taste of syrup, but I don't like the stickiness and the gooiness. Yeah. So as a bourbon guy, I love it when a bourbon has a lot of maple syrupy notes in it, but I just don't like the mess of syrup. It always ends up down your chin. It always ends up right here.
Well, as someone who has a goatee and syrup gets in the goatee, I mean, just
yeah,
hate it.
Yeah. And flavor saver. They don't call it a flavor saver for nothing, Aric.
Right.
You got breakfast and brunch. Yeah.
And you know how Brady feels about getting his hands sticky.
Oh, I know. That is where I'm just like Brady. I
don't like it either.
The amount of napkins I go through at any given meal is ridiculous. I could put my kids through college with the money I spend on napkins and paper towels.
Not paper towels, napkins, right? Did we establish that last 2 weeks ago?
Right, we did. Yeah, we did.
All right. So a couple, John, no comment on that. And Amy, that's what she said, I believe was in reference to the dry sausage comment. I'm not sure.
I think I teed a lot of them up there, so it could have been any of them.
Joey says you can't get a tab until you buy something. Yeah, from Back to the Future. It was a line from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And he also says, what about Squirt? I've never had Squirt.
No, but I will tell you this. The new, whatever took over for Sierra Mist, the
Starry Night,
is fantastic. It is easily the best citrus pap in history.
So what's the difference between that and what it replaced?
I don't know, but it's good. First off, they have a zero. I'm a fan of the zero. The Starry Zero. Yeah.
Zero.
Didn't Tab try to make a comeback a few years ago?
I think it did.
Yeah.
Kind of like Zima and everything else tries to pop its head out of the hole. And
I never fell into the Zima craze. I think it hit right before I was of drinking age, and then I just never gave it much thought.
Oh, Brady loved him some Zima.
Now, I won't say I just didn't love beer at all. Yeah. And it was somewhat of a, it was the one thing you could get down in back in the Sycamore Gardens days. that wouldn't break the bank. You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
give you, didn't taste like awful.
Tasted like the Jolly Rancher you put in it.
No, I didn't do that.
Why not?
I just liked it clear. It was all good. Kind of tastes like a yellow Cheerio, a Fruit Loop or something.
Fruit Wop.
Yes.
John says every blue-haired bridge player drank tab at my mom's bridge parties, and I'm thinking, does anyone play bridge anymore? I think have all those people passed away. I mean, does anyone do
After
that
Omar
anymore?
Sharif passed, the bridge thing was
Right.
I
never.
don't know what bridge was. I mean, like I don't ever know anyone that played it. Now some canasta. Now we're talking.
Bridge and oh gosh, I just blanked out. Bridge and cribbage are two things that I heard about but never experienced.
Well, see, to me, the old person game was always canasta and rummy. But I loved a good game of 500 rummy.
Oh, my daughter's a rummy. Panda is a rummy cutthroat.
Yeah. I haven't played rummy in probably 20 years. I didn't pass on the love of rummy to my children's.
That's what we need to do our next guy trip. Play rummy.
Yes.
Well, since I've proved unbeatable in
Scrapple.
Scrapple dapple.
Maxwell, hello.
So Josh says this kind of burp is what I remember. I'd assume that YouTube link there. I can't get to it, but I assume that's the kind of burp he's talking about.
Yes.
Joey says, "Don't mind me, guys. Just out here dipping my sausage in this Aquafina, make it damper."
Yeah. Well, every once in a while you will get a shriveled, dried piece of sausage link that does need some moisture.
But syrup ain't that moisture.
Like the last piece in the Frisch's breakfast bar, you don't ever want that one.
The last roller dog in the gas station kind of thing.
You gotta skin that thing to even get to any kind of meat.
COU says TMI.
Yeah.
Skinner
back.
Skinner back. Number 4, fondue.
Fondue.
1970s, created by Conrad Egli. I have never. What's the fondue place? The
melting pot.
I've never been to the melting pot.
It's still there, so people still eat.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
But if you think about it, it still hasn't. It went away, and it hasn't really caught on much because otherwise there'd be more than one fondue restaurant.
True. So I've never had fondue to my knowledge. Maybe I have at some point and just didn't know. But what is it exactly?
Well, it is. You have a pot of some kind of broth or dipping sauce, and then it's on like its own. Yeah, and it flames. It's got a little cauldron, and then you put your little piece of maybe steak or a vegetable. Meat. If it's
various meats.
It has to be on a long
and
fork.
Cheeses.
It's a skew, isn't it?
It's a skewer of some kind.
Skewer, yeah.
And you hold it over the flame, and then you dip it in. It's a lot of work. That's why I say fondant.
No, that's a sentence, Todd. Your skewer is a skew.
Yeah, it kind of seems like roasting marshmallows, but you're roasting everything else, and you're not roasting it, you're dipping it.
Yeah.
Now I could get into some of the dessert fondues.
Now, at the melting pot, the dessert was phenomenal. You had some caramel sauce, some chocolate sauce, and you had various.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it caramel sauce or caramel sauce? I'm not having any caramel sauce.
Caramel. I'm a caramel guy. Aric, you're a caramel guy.
If I'm going to the melting pot, I'm paying for caramel.
And what about pecans, pecans? What kind of nuts you want, sir?
Pecans.
Pecans. Number 5, Hoover stew. Popular in the 1930s, created by soup kitchens. Original price unknown. Hoover stew sounds like something you wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole, but back in the 1930s, some families didn't have a choice. The interesting dish was created by soup kitchens during the Great Depression, made up of macaronis and chopped up hat dags. The dish was named after President Herbert Hoover. So it
sounds like every dish that every 8-year-old ever eats.
It literally is. Like, it's just now the picture I'm looking at doesn't look like hot dogs as much as like thick cut pepperoni.
That looks like hamburger valet.
Yeah, that actually doesn't look bad. That's just some elbows, macaroni, and some hot dog chunks.
Yeah.
True that.
I have no problem. Is that the first one I have no problem with Hoover stew.
Yeah, I could eat the Hoover.
I would eat it. I would eat it. Okay, couple comments. Joey had a historical reference as to what fondue was an excuse to do back in the day. I will not post that.
Can you? I'd like to see it, but how are you going to figure out a way?
Well,
just text it to me.
I mean, basically, I'll just try to clean it up a little bit. A male-female gathering.
Multiple males and females.
Okay.
And he also says, "Now I know you guys are rich out here going to the melting pot."
Let me tell you, no, Joey.
I've never been.
15 years ago, and I went once. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've never been. I mean, I'm not above dropping a dime on a nice restaurant, but I've never been to I don't want to drop that much dime and have to do all the work myself.
There you go.
I don't want to have to cook my meat. Don't you have to? I mean, don't you have to cook your meat too?
It depends. Like I think I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, but a Korean barbecue is kind of the same, but at least it's, I don't know.
So if I'm cooking the meats and preparing the meals, why am I leaving a tip?
True. That is true.
Because they're bringing in this big old plate full or table full of stuff.
Joey
Depression Raymond. Hoover Stew's Depression Raymond.
I like that name better, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6. Now, I don't exactly know how to pronounce the last word. Is it canapes? Canapes?
Yeah, canapes.
So sardine egg canapes.
Ew.
That sounds
sardine
rancid.
Egg canapes. Pull up a picture. It doesn't look good. The best part about it is it's deviled eggs, but each one of them has a nasty ass sardine laying atop it.
How do you spell canape?
Canape with the doohickey above the
mark.
E. Yeah. S. Canapes.
Canapes.
Sardine egg canapes.
Oh, God, my Lord. I can't even.
Our
Here's
junior
what I
high
don't
science
get.
teacher dared us to eat sardines and it gave us bonus points if we would try them.
I actually think, yeah, that's the same picture I'm looking at. So the deviled egg I have no problem with, and I can even flick the olive off. I don't like olives, but that fish laying atop each one of those is going to soil every bit of goodness underneath of it.
That looks like somebody spilled their bait bucket on somebody's devil egg dish.
What's in the middle? I don't understand what I'm looking at there. Is that some meat?
That would be the canapé part. Canapé is basically it's a spread. So in fancy circles, if you have canapé knives, they're basically like a butter knife, and it's for spreads.
But doesn't it just look like cheeses and meats, like pepperonis or something rolled up and cheeses?
I mean, it kind of looks that way.
I might eat that. I don't like how those other sardines on the backside there, you can see their face. You can see their eyes.
Ew.
Joey says that entire dish looks raw.
Yeah.
I think I've got salmonella just looking at it.
Salmonella, who are they?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the first comment tonight that's gonna piss people off.
Oh, here we go.
Going to get canceled.
I don't think anybody actually likes sardines. I think it's a lot like is
it some status symbol thing?
It's a lot like IPA beers. There's nothing good about IPA beers. but people still claim to like them because it's the thing to do. That's what's going to piss people off. I apologize if you like IPA beers, but they just don't taste good.
Well, if you remove IPA from your sentence, I'm with you.
I cannot imagine anybody that thinks sardines taste good. I could see somebody saying like, I don't mind a sardine. I'm not going to remove it if it's on my food, but I can't imagine somebody saying, boy, sardines just taste good.
Oh, I'm going to remove it.
I know, but what you're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying I can see somebody saying like, I don't mind them, like anchovies or something. I can deal with it, but I can't imagine anybody just saying, boy, those sardines taste great by themselves. I could eat sardines all day long.
So I believe Celia has the best description of this little thing here. That deviled egg dish looks like an abstract piece of art depicting a ritual.
See, I thought this with those sickly looking fish staring at us. Yeah, I'd have to at least chop their heads off.
Well, that's what happens. All those goldfish at the fair, they put them on deviled eggs and.
Now, deviled eggs with a goldfish on top. Oh, you mean a real gold? I thought you meant a cracker goldfish.
Not the cracker.
So wait a minute. You're saying the going away meal at the fair for the carnies is canape?
Is a deviled egg goldfish canape.
All right. Number 7 is going. I can't even wait to hear how fired up you guys get about this one. Popular in the 1930s and 1970s, created by Mrs. John E. Cook. Jello salads. So here's a funny little backstory here, or not a funny, but interesting. The Jello salad first came about as the brainchild of Mrs. John E. Cook, a housewife from Pennsylvania who entered a competition in Better Homes and Gardens way back in 1904. While she didn't win, this recipe did take 3rd place.
That's probably what about deserved. I'd hate to see what got 1st and 2nd.
Yeah,
I don't know what
1904, and it took until the 1930s to get popular. I believe that is a statement.
And it's based on a dare.
Yes.
This one I'm looking at here, you're not going to believe this. It has, let me try to zoom in here.
Just like Hoover Stew, it's depression food.
This Jello salad has, I'm talking like an eighth of a tomato, that big of chunks of tomato.
Oh,
it has cucumbers.
God.
It has radishes in it. Oh, I see the edge of some celery. Oh my goodness.
And the diced flesh of children kidnapped from the
celery's never made anything better. This one here has cauliflowers, radishes.
But the thing is, celery is fairly tasteless. I mean, even if it were in there,
it's wet hair.
But it wouldn't sully the Jello by itself.
Not by
radishes in there, and
I don't know, man. So you're telling me if you were just to say you come home from a hard day at work and you got a nice vat of whatever your favorite Jello flavor is, and you got some whipped cream on top of it, and you're digging in, and you take a bite and you crunch into some celery, you're saying it doesn't ruin it?
No, wait a minute. The only thing I'm saying here is, if I'm faced with the choice of if my life depended on it, you have to eat a Jello salad with a vegetable in it, I'm picking the celery and nothing else. Not the carrot shavings, not the radishes, not
the cucumbers.
The cucumber. That's disgusting. The cucumbers. No, I would pick the celery.
Here's what makes all these worse. At some point in the 80s, our families,
every freaking family reunion I went to.
Well, they got a hold of it. And they said, we'll make it better by putting marshmallows on top and shredded cheddar cheese.
Oh, man. I don't even know.
I could probably do, if I had to, if you made me, I could eat Jello with vegetables in it. But once you put shredded, and you guys know how much I love cheese. Cheese does not belong on Jello.
All right. So here's the ultimate question. Okay. You know, it was some older person that made that. And it never sat there untouched.
No.
Someone always took some. So do you think it was out of guilt? Because if someone brings something to the family reunion or the potluck dinner or whatever, and it sits there not touched, do you feel guilty as an attendee of the dinner? Like I've gone through line and most everyone else has, and this thing's sitting here, and I'm like, maybe I should take something to be polite.
If I put it on my plate, yes, I would feel guilty, but I have no problem passing it by in the line. Once I looked at Jell-O in the eye and it's got shredded cheese on. First off, you guys know what happens to shredded cheese when it sits there for a while. It gets that hard. It starts to build a little bit of a crackle.
Yeah.
And imagine that biting into that Jell-O with the crackle.
It either does that, or if it's sat on Jell-O, which is a little moist.
Yeah.
Then it turns like it goes from being yellow to being like white, runny, and you know what I'm talking about.
Now I will say this. I am a big fan, and I've just only become this way the last couple of years. I am a big fan of, like, if I take a block of cheese out and cut some slices to eat, like I always nibbling cheese is what I always call it. I like it when it's sat out on the counter a while. Cheese is definitely better room temperature. I like it cold too. But now I'm talking before it sets in and gets hard on the edges. Just when it's sat there and it's gotten just room temperature. That's good cheese right there.
I'm not poo-pooing what you said. I've just never had the occasion to.
Yeah, take a block of cheese, let it sit on the counter for 25 minutes.
A month.
It'll get soft. And it tastes better. It's just something about it. It's nice. So you guys can try that and thank me later. But shredded cheese, on the other hand, I think it's because it's the texture. It's shredded. It won't hold up as well as like
it becomes like dairy coconut.
Yeah. Speaking of which, number 8, soda milk.
What?
1950s and 60s by the Howdy Corporation. The advertisement says 7-Up in milk for children who won't drink milk, for adults who want the nourishment of milk with a decidedly different appeal. Mix chilled 7-Up and cold milk in equal parts by pouring the 7-Up gently into the milk. Do not stir. The 7-Up adds a light and delicate flavor, making a delicious blended food drink, which is like chili soup.
Gently pour it into the toilet and flush it because it's an abomination.
Now, is it that much different than a milkshake?
Yes.
Aric, that has dots on it. That has like some sort of seed in it.
It's 7-Up bubbles.
No.
That looks like there's some kind of like flaxseed or something.
Yes, that looks like Satan's tapioca. That's yeah. Those black dots are not bubbles. They're even on the bottom. It's like ticks. It's like wood ticks floating in the drink.
Wood tick.
I'm going to say on this, guys, I mean, this is not something I would do, but I can't imagine it tastes that much different than like a runny milkshake.
I mean, it's the idea of it.
Not a milkshake, but a float. That's what, yeah.
Or I mean, you used to get the sodas in like the soda shops. And it tastes like that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. I do want to try it. I don't know. Number 9. Sorry,
I got comments.
Go ahead.
All right. Joey also never tried the Jell-O salad. He was fine with skipping it over.
Well, Joey, you could see what was in them though if you look close. Depending on the flavor of Jell-O, if it were like a red Jell-O, it was kind of hard to see. But if it were an orange or a lemon Jell-O,
well, or if your grape was cut in half, you could mistake the grape for a cucumber. Or you thought you were getting a grape, but it was actually a cucumber.
But see, but this is where I think I differ from you guys. I don't even like fruit in my Jell-O. I want my Jell-O smooth all the way from end to end, from side to side, smooth.
So you were not a fan of the Sardinia Elementary cafeteria Jell-O block with the fruit in it?
I am not a big fruit salad fan. The only thing that redeems it for me is when bananas are in it. And so I could probably do Jell-O if it had some banana in it. But you got to be careful.
Banana miracle because it mummifies it. It won't turn brown inside the Jell-O.
Well, you got to be careful with banana and fruit salad because obviously the rest of the fruit will last longer than the banana will.
Yeah.
But there's something about banana that will tame a fruit salad or tame some of the
So
bite.
you're fine with the soggy banana.
I don't mind I don't mind a soggy banana. Now, I don't want it like old, like where it's gotten brown and soggy, mushy.
Yeah.
But I don't mind with a little bit of a damp banana. A damp banana.
That'd be a good band name, the Damp Bananas.
You will not dampen your sausage, but you will dampen your banana.
That's right.
Gary says sawdust salad. I'm not sure exactly which dish
Is
he's referring to.
Is that a cousin to Waldorf salad?
It could be. Trev, welcome.
Trevor knows what I'm talking about. When you lay that block on the counter, it'll get a little sweaty.
Sweaty cheese.
Sweaty cheese.
Treva, the only person who brings that crap to a reunion, do not love their family. Gary says 7-Up milk after it sits on the counter for 25 minutes.
Sweaty 7-Up.
Gary says sawdust salad was the cheese covered salad.
See, Gary, we were at the same family reunions. Did you eat that, man? I mean, like, I don't mean to be insulting. I love my family, but that stuff was, I don't know. I think one time I had it by accident or something. Like it was because I've tasted it. Probably something when I was real little, my mom or dad made me eat or made me try.
Gary says he ate everything.
Well, I mean, in Gary's defense, we come from a very talented family when it comes to cooking and making foods. I was blessed with two sides that could really, really cook.
So here's the next question. Could you name names as far as who brought the sawdust salad?
No, I have no idea.
I want a list, and I want them to.
Gary, do you know? Was it Grandma? I mean, did Grandma make it? I mean, Grandma always made the lamb cakes at Easter that were covered in coconut, so I couldn't eat them.
No, Brady, not actual lamb.
It was like cakes that, well, it was rabbits. Gary, was it rabbits? I think there were lamb and rabbit ones.
Lamb cakes.
Feels like
something where you hit your shin.
You've seen the rabbit cakes where it's like you're looking straight on a rabbit. It's a round cake, and then they cut it and make ears.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Make a body out of it, and then they icing
lamb
it.
Cake, rabbit cake, lamb cake,
rabbit cake.
So we always had those at Easter family get-togethers, but again, they were always covered in coconut, and I hate coconut. So I was always disappointed because I wanted to eat a piece of rabbit or lamb cake and never could. I think Grandma made those. I'm sure she passed it on to Gary's mom, aunts, uncles. I'm sure people made it afterwards, but I remember Grandma making it.
Gary says rabbit was his favorite. He loves coconut.
Gary, were there also, is my memory correct in that they were lamb cakes at some point? I mean, no.
So, yeah, and Easter. I mean, either would fit the Easter theme, I believe.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy when you think about it, though, that you're eating a cake shaped like a lamb. I mean, if you think long and hard about it, I mean, why would you want your food to be shaped like an animal?
That's true.
All right. Number 9, TV dinners.
Dinners.
So
1950s, Swanson.
So before you go on, this was a comment that was put forward earlier by John. John, have you seen the list?
Yes.
Are you jumping?
John, are you looking over my shoulder?
No, he does live in Hillsborough. You better watch that.
TV dinners evolved into like Michelina's, Alfredo or lasagna, the little boxes that.
Yeah, they evolved into microwave. I mean, they.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember eating actual TV dinners when you had to put them in an oven.
Well, I didn't know this.
Did?
I don't remember
in the metal trays.
Yeah, those were expensive. Evidently, when they first came out, if you ate TV dinners as a family, you were living high on the hog.
Really?
I'm guaranteeing they had some Salisbury steak, and I've never not liked a Salisbury steak in any meal, whether it be microwave bowl, buffet, wherever you can find some Salisbury steak.
Here's what would get you about the Salisbury steak and the TV dinner that you put in the oven. You'll be eating through half of that Salisbury steak, and then you'll get to a point where literally there is an ice cube of gravies in your Salisbury steak. Well, inexplicably, because the edges of it are like molten lava.
Yeah, same thing. Mashed potatoes are the worst about that. You'll be eating mashed potatoes, and there'll be a nice temperature, and then you'll bite into a piece that will bite that will absolutely light your tongue on fire, and then the next bite will be ice.
Oh yeah, and then like you get the 3rd-degree burn, but then it immediately calms it with the ice cube in the middle. Because like it is lava-like, and then that just makes the cold seem worse and more unpalatable.
Yeah. You always have to, if you're heating up like leftovers, like things, you have to separate your mashed potatoes. They have to be in their own little world, their own realm, because you can't just heat the mashed potatoes up with everything else.
And not only that, I will say
mac
the
and cheese is kind of the same.
Is something I love, but I do not like reheated mashed potatoes.
I don't think the taste changes. The taste doesn't change, but the texture definitely does.
Yeah,
when you're eating like a block.
Yeah,
grainy.
Yeah, it does.
So Joey says the best thing about TV dinners, you don't get leftovers, you have reruns. and he put up another comment. The Salisbury steak and dessert was so good that apple was like piping hot.
Yeah,
so
it was apple crisp. Every dessert was a crisp, like peach crisp, apple crisp, cherry crisp, blueberry crisp, blackberry crisp.
So which was hotter, the apple in the TV dinner or the apple in the center of the McDonald's pie?
I'm going to say the TV dinner because it was actually in the oven and it was insulated by that metal case that it came in, or metal tray. And that just made it even worse. And it focused it like a laser beam right in the middle of that pie filling.
Yeah, and don't sit that metal tray on your lap if you're wearing shorts. I'll tell you that too.
You'll send your lap hairs if you aren't careful. Number 10, adult baby food. Now I don't remember this.
What?
Popular in 1974, created by Gerber.
So does it have a big old hairy guy with a beard instead of a baby smiling? Just got some.
It says Singles by Gerber launched in 1974, but while the idea was certainly an interesting one, it never fully took off. With names like Blueberry Delight and Beef Burgundy. See, usually the alliteration works. These strange jars were single servings marketed as adults or at adults on the go, but adults ran in the other direction. Other companies like Perigo learned from Gerber's mistake and never went down that route. These are exactly what you would think. They're just like jars of it even says on it Gerber adult or Gerber for adults, something like that.
If there was a medical reason, like if you'd had your jaw wired shut and this was a niche industry where for people with maxillofacial issues, but just to say, hey, I'm an adult baby food.
Hey, I'm in a hurry here. Let me grab a jar of pureed meats.
Ugh. See, that's where they get me. Like I remember probably as an uncle, as a pretty young uncle. I was an uncle. My first niece was born when I was in 6th grade. I can remember eating and enjoying baby food, like the banana and apricot, like that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it was like the peas and carrots and oh my gosh,
can't even look at it. Let alone eat it.
No.
Well, and it was called Singles. There was a reason, because if you ate those, you probably had no human contact.
Yeah.
With.
So Gary says adult baby food so you can stir your steak to avoid the icy spots.
So this next one, guys. I feel sorry for anyone listening that doesn't have visual. If you are listening, Friday, is that when these are released?
Yes.
Yeah. If it is Friday and you're listening and you don't have visuals, you have to at least Google this, but be very careful. In the 1960s, for 15 cents a serving, banana candle. But banana candle. I think, Aric, we might need a picture. I hope it's the same picture I'm looking at.
I mean, I'm okay. It's a dessert, right?
It better be.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a.
This is what I've come up with here. I don't know if it's the right thing that you're looking at.
Banana candle. No, That is not it. That is actually a candle. That looks delicious. Actually, that's just a candle that smells like bananas.
But I clicked on banana candle dessert.
No, yeah, don't click dessert.
Oh, okay. It says candle dessert candle. So
yeah, don't. Right there you are. Right there. Yep.
Here.
What am I looking at?
Click on that. You had it, Aric. Nope. You had it earlier. Your cursor was on it. No, that's actually a banana that's been turned into a candle.
That's a very literalist interpretation.
Over to your right. Nope, back where you were. Go back to where when you just clicked on down.
Like down a row. Okay.
Now go to your right. There's one beside it, two beside it, the third one to the right of the one you clicked on. Up. You're in the wrong. No, you're in the wrong row again.
You lost the row.
Yeah. Okay. So see the one that was an actual banana candle that you clicked on.
Yes.
Now go. Nope. Down.
Go back to where you just were. Okay.
Now go over 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's it.
That, my friends, is a banana candle.
What is it?
In all its glory.
I have no words.
I have some words, but I can't say them on the show.
Well, it's hard to put my finger on it.
It would be.
Yeah. How do you erect a dessert like that?
Well, is that a pineapple spear at the bottom?
It is. It's a disc. It's a pineapple. For those of you listening, it's a disc of pineapple, pretty thick cut. It's got a banana stuck in the middle of it. It's got a banana stuck in it, a good sized banana, and what looks like a gumdrop at the top of that banana, and some whipped cream.
Some whipped cream lava coming out of it to make
and some whipped cream at the base between the pineapple and the banana.
So I mean, who said they couldn't put their finger on it? I'm guessing they probably put their finger on it quite a bit.
Well, what's with the green stuff? I don't know why we need lettuce involved in this.
Once again, you have to garnish it and make it look like greenery.
So, okay. Now, first off, I think one has to be very careful how they eat that.
Yeah.
Without, there's some innuendo involved, but I don't think it looks bad. And Brady, I know you like pineapple.
Yeah, I do like pineapple. My whole thing, this would be the ultimate in, it's all presentation and no substance. How do you even tackle eating that? Because if you use the fork that they have set out with you there to the right, what do you even
3-pronged plastic fork?
Yeah, what kind of jacked up fork is that? 3-pronged.
A trident of a fork.
But so here's my question. I mean, do you knock it over and go at it sideways?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. It's like you ruin the presentation if you try to.
Do you attack it head on?
Like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm afraid to tackle that.
Yeah. And like I said, they just needed to leave the lettuce out of it.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of, the lettuce may help stabilize it. And here's what I would
do the opposite, because now you have an uneven base.
Well, here's what I want to know: is the pineapple? Does the banana go through the pineapple, or is it just resting atop it?
No, it's a banana hole where they take the core out. There's a hole, and they put the banana in the hole. But how? That's and that's
the pineapple. You mean?
Yeah, the pineapple.
Okay,
sorry,
there's no hole in the banana.
Did I say banana? I meant to say pineapple.
I thought you said there was a banana hole.
Well, I guess there is, because the hole in the pineapple becomes the hole that the banana rests in. And I think that the cream sauce at the bottom is cement to keep that in place, because it's going to be hard to custom fit that banana to the pineapple hole. You can't guarantee that it's going to be a fit.
You definitely have to bevel it. I think you have to bevel the banana to get it into the pineapple hole. But what's with the gumdrop? I don't quite. I guess that's the flame of the candle.
That's either the flame or the penthouse. It's like the top of the Space Needle.
It's the attic. It's the banana attic.
Yeah.
I just can't with this whole conversation. I just can't.
Well, I mean, we're here to analyze it. I mean, like it's
well, yeah.
We're here to educate, darn it.
Here's how this goes when you eat that. This is one of those, like Brady said. I mean, it looks interesting. It took some work to create each one of them, but the only way you eat that is separately. So it's one of those desserts or those foods where, it may seem like a good idea, but there's no way to eat it together because the amount of force it takes to cut the banana is much less than what it takes to cut the pineapple. So the way you're going to eat that is you're going to eat the banana first, and then you're going to eat the pineapple last.
Treva says just bite it. I never mind. Never mind.
Meanwhile,
all right. I didn't know this would render speechlessness, but yeah, I
don't know. I mean, between the sausages and the bananas in this episode,
you know what it doesn't have? It's almost made to look like one of those candle holders, but there's no little ring thing to carry it.
So that particular concoction doesn't look bad. What would make me absolutely, without a doubt, throw up is if I cut into the pineapple and accidentally cut into the lettuce and ate them both at the same time.
Yeah, you just got to take the lettuce out of the equation.
Yeah, that lettuce carpet is unnecessary.
I'm going to tell you what it could use. Sorry, Brady, go ahead.
No, it's unnecessary.
But you know what it needs? Just to make it 10 times better. Some chocolate syrup.
Yes.
And maybe even a little dab of peanut butter.
And instead of doing that lettuce foolishness, you could put it on a graham cracker. Now you have a nice level base to build your banana candle.
Or a giant chocolate chip cookie.
Oh.
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking.
All right. So you think anything else we can say about that? Oh, It says here, hang on, I should have read. It's not clear which, let's see. All you have to do is stick a banana in the middle of a pineapple ring, throw some icing on the top to look like melted wax, and top it off with a cherry. Those are cherries?
That's a gumdrop. That's no cherry is shaped like that.
Yeah.
Plus, are they candied cherries or something like that?
Maybe cherry gumdrops. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think an orange gumdrop would both look better, look more realistic, like a flame.
Yeah.
Orange.
Number 12. Meat clown. Meat clown, popular in the 1970s.
Stop. Is it MEET or MEAT?
Clown. Okay. Meat clown. It is basically like a loaf of bologna that every slice has a clown face on it.
That sounds like a euphemism too.
Turn that meat clown frown upside down.
That wasn't what I was referring to.
Do you have a picture, Aric, that we can?
Oh my!
Be careful.
This is frightening. Honestly,
definitely be careful.
With
meat and clown in the same search bar, you might find all kinds of crazy stuff.
Please tell me it comes in a white carton.
This is absolutely frightening.
It's got a gold wrapper on it. I see.
Ah!
Yep, there it is. That's not the exact picture, but it's the same idea.
Okay.
So, it looks like a meat muppet.
A meepet. I'm sorry. That is wrong in every sense of the word. But how many kinds of meats are in that thing? Because the dark ones have to be like liverwurst or something.
Those top ones. Look, those top ones have some pickle loaf chunk looking things. You see that up
there? And how do you even create that?
That's impressive. I gotta say, that's impressive.
That part is impressive. It's frightening as hell, but I mean, it's impressive.
Can you imagine opening up the drawer and having that looking at you in the fridge? You would jump.
Yeah, I really wish people, if you're listening to this, please Google. Well, very carefully Google. How about? Is there something that we can make it safe for them if they Google meat clown luncheon meat meat
I mean, I just Google meat clown.
Okay.
Well, it has a shaggy haircut.
It does.
It has
like a
bangs,
Muppet.
and that's disturbing.
It has meat bangs. And it has meat mouth.
It looks like Pennywise.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I mean, this is a legit question. Depending on what part of the meat clown is it different meats, or is that just some kind of trick of color?
Like dyes, like they inject. How do they get it all the way through there perfectly? Did you notice that it didn't get all wobbly and like the smeared it?
That's why I think it's congealed meat food that they put into like a mold. You know,
it must be a pretty deep mold, doesn't it? Or is it a bunch of thin pieces and they somehow compact it
like a composite? God, it's horrible.
Now, if they can have that, why can't they have roast beast and have every face like a werewolf or something?
Have a look at this one here.
Oh, please! There's another face. Oh no!
Ooh, look at
what's that thing on the left?
That's a bear. What's
no, that's Frankenberry that's been mummified in a meat package.
But Baronwurst.
I'll tell you what we're looking at. We're looking at the real meat clown on the right, and then we're looking at the Wish meat clown on the left.
Well, that's a meat bear, easily.
That, yeah, I don't even know. God, even just putting that on bread or a bun and having that look up at you.
There's a better picture of it.
That's just awful.
That is just awful. Barchenwurst.
Yeah.
Or you can get some Dora the Explorer meat.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! This is all fake.
That has to be fake.
Why does it have to be fake?
That's the what's his name?
Meat Boy.
Dinosaur turkey.
Dinosaur turkey.
That looks like that nasty meat that is just like fat. That's just a dinosaur shaped fat deposit in the middle of it.
Tallow.
Yeah. Smiley Fritz.
That looks like a hagfish coming out of it. Now that one's pleasant looking.
So you're saying the dumber the bear looks, the more you'd like to eat it?
Well, no, it's not scary. It's like, that's a pleasant looking character.
Look, do you see that line of text under the picture? Try enjoying a sandwich while this pedo bear lovingly stares into your eye.
Oh man.
Conchita worst.
Say you might want to preview this before you keep scrolling down and get
you better be careful.
I mean, surely they're not selling too much
bearded lady meat. I think they sold that at the circus over in Aberdeen years ago.
Right beside the Lobster Boy claws.
The bearded man.
Soylent Green.
Yeah.
What's next on the list, Todd?
Insane Clown Posse. I kind of want to see this. Oh, he closed it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 13. Goodness, I've never heard of this. In 1960s, by our good friends at Armor, or however you say it.
Oh, Armor. Yeah, it's never going to be good.
Ribs in a can.
Ew.
Ribs in a can with barbecue sauce.
I could smell that. Just you saying it.
It says meaty new idea. Ribs in a can, 2.5 pounds, all smoked, sauced, and cooked. A big 2.5 pound can of royally good ribs, no ordinary spare ribs, but ribs specially selected, specially cut, slim in bone, heavy on the good, rich meat. All smoked. For meat this good, only the best will do. So we use sweet hickory smoke, a mellow drift. 9 special ingredients in the sauce. All you have to do, nothing for you to do but heat.
And eat.
Heat that can.
That's hobo food, man.
Hobo food.
If you're looking for, this is an interesting tagline. If you're looking for the cheapest ribs, forget ours. If you're hungry for the meatiest, come a running. So are they saying that they're not cheap? Or are they saying they don't taste cheap?
I want that as a t-shirt.
So a few comments here. Celia says, wasn't the meat clown John Wayne Gacy?
Oh, too soon.
True that. Gary says, engineering at its best, referring to the meat clown and meat faces. Trev says, likely mechanically separated meats that are extruded into a pattern within the chub.
Easy.
So TV 14.
Are you calling that a chub of meat instead of a loaf? Is that what you're...
Is that an industry term or what?
I dare you to order that at the deli. I'll take
some
half
industries.
a pound of thin sliced chub of bologna.
I guarantee you, if you go to Subway and ads for a chub, you're going to get escorted from the premises and arrested.
I'll take your finest turkey chub.
They only did that when Jared worked for him. Too soon.
Wow.
Too soon.
Number 14. I don't like this. 1920s Betty Crocker. I don't like it. I didn't like it. They don't like it now. Pineapple upside down cake.
I like me some pineapple upside down cake. What's the matter with that?
I don't like any cake without icing. First off,
it's got pineapples on it.
No, that's not an icing.
I think my deal is they got too cute with naming it pineapple cake. But the upside down thing is trying to fooling me into something that it's not. It makes it sound like it was some kind of trickery or sleight of hand. And I'm sure there's a reason why it has to be upside down. It's probably got something to do about the juices running through it. But I don't hate it, but don't call it an upside down cake. It's all about perspective.
What? So you're saying don't be proud of it. Don't think of it as a mistake, as upside down, and be proud of it.
Pineapple cake.
Pineapple cake.
But
do you think maybe?
But see, Celia says it's made upside down.
But it's eaten right side up, so it ceases to become upside down then. So it's a pineapple right side up cake.
Technically, it's not eaten right side up. You are right side up, but the cake is still upside down. Unless you flip it over before you.
I think it's what she's saying.
You eat
it's baked upside down. And then when you then
order,
then what you're seeing.
Go ahead.
No, what you're looking at is technically the bottom of the cake.
Yes, and you eat it from the bottom up. You don't.
I thought it was flipped out onto the pan.
No.
I've seen those before. I think
those are bunt cakes.
Those are pineapple. Those are pineapple upside right cakes or right side up cakes.
That's a low key best line from Something About Mary. Hey, you got a bunt cake?
You got a bunt cake.
I am not a big pineapple fan. So the cake part I could deal with, and the whipped cream or whatever, and the cherry I could deal with that. But I need something else besides the pineapple. Pineapple is a dominating flavor.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
kind of acidic.
Yeah.
So Trev says it is actually a chub of bologna.
Are you kidding?
Like a murder of crows?
Bologna. Like a murder of crows?
Yeah.
Or that's interesting, Trevor. He's just setting us up. He wants us to go order a chub of bologna at the deli. Be careful Googling chub, Aric.
I Googled chub of bologna. At Sam's Club, you can get a 5-pound chub of bologna.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Hey,
I'm going to go to my Sam's Club this weekend and say, hey, I want a 5-pound chub of bologna.
I want the chubbiest bologna you have.
If you say that, never mind. Sorry.
Here's what you say. You say, rub-a-dub-dub, I would like a bologna chub. And see what they say.
Here we go.
That will get you arrested.
So here we go. Grilling Fools. Grilled bologna, not slices, an entire chub of bologna.
Man, that thing looks like it's been that thing looks like it was roasted in Kilauea's volcanic pit.
So,
Looks
what
like-
constitutes a chub? How much has to be in a chub?
Looks like Satan meat.
Yeah.
So, is that picture there? Is that 2 chubs, or
It's
is
like
that
a hell
chub?
loaf.
Or is that a bisected chub?
Chub.
So you guys remember that referee that used to shower at the ball games? For
I
some
knew
reason,
you
I'm
were
thinking
gonna
about
say
him
it.
right now.
I knew you were going to say it.
That was called a shower chub. Trevor, thank you, by the way, for that. Because I tell people all the time, you learn things with this. It might not always be from us.
Yeah.
I'm still not
That's why our
ordering a chub of bologna.
That's why our earbuds are the best.
That's right. Number 15. I have to disagree with this that people have stopped, but pre-made lunch boxes. We still have one as a lunch offering every day. Yeah. 1990s, created by Kid Cuisine. Original price $2. I'm gonna try to go quicker through these.
Is it basically a pre-made lunchbox? Those Lunchables? I mean, what?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, I think Kid Cuisine or the original Lunchable. Now they're like a Oscar Mayer or something, aren't they, or something like that?
Well, Kroger has their own little version, but
yeah, they all have their own knockoff. This is interesting, though. I forgot about this. It said there were many varieties to choose from, but Kid Cuisine offered up fried chicken with fries, burgers, and more.
I don't remember that.
So, did you eat them cold?
Well, see, I do never like the Lunchables because I don't like a lot of cold food. And I'm sorry, it's not pizza if it's cold.
Well, I didn't mind the Lunchables where it was supposed to be cold.
Oh, like ham and cracker? Yeah. It's supposed to be, yeah.
Your miniature chub of bologna and cheese and crackers. It's not bad. Number 16. I don't remember these, but piggybacks. Aric, you might have to look this one up. 1960s, created by, this must have been a partnership, created by Spam and Pillsbury.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Piggybacks, new meat and potato ideas with Spam and Pillsbury mashed potato flakes.
Ew.
I'll read it.
I thought we were going with biscuitry.
Breakfast in the 1960s might have featured bacon and eggs, staples that we have today, but there were definitely some other more questionable food choices. One such questionable food choice was piggybacks, a meat and mashed potato concept. It consisted of a slab of Spam with a dollop of Pillsbury mashed potatoes on top. The Pillsbury mashed potato flakes were the cherry on top of this Thanksgiving-esque breakfast food trend. People rode the piggybacks wave until the 1970s.
So if it's mashed potatoes, it has mashed potato flakes.
So it really, from the picture, it literally looks like a cut of Spam with a dollop of mashed potatoes and then like a crispy potato flaking on top of it. It doesn't look bad.
Okay.
Is that what it is there? Is that your picture?
Yeah. Well, a little different, but same idea. Yeah. So it doesn't look bad.
No.
If I was stranded on an island, there's a lot of worse things to eat.
It comes down whether you like Spam or not.
I do not.
Now, here's the thing, though. You could do the same thing with treat, as you guys call it, the poor man's Spam.
Indeed.
See, yeah, I'm not sure about that.
17.
Oh.
Liver loaf.
Yeah.
Liver loaf.
That's a disease.
Here's creamed liver loaf.
Oh.
Here's the new kind of meat that's rich in B vitamins.
I'm seriously about. I brought up some pictures. I think I'd throw up.
Aric, I'm really not kidding. You look like you turned white.
Known in German as Leberkäse.
Ugh.
The exact translation is liver cheese.
Oh.
You made liver loaf by grinding up ingredients like pork, corned beef, bacon, and onions, and then baking it in a loaf pan in the oven. It would usually be served on a flour roll. Well, that's not the picture I have, but that's got some veggies
like fruit cake.
Yeah. Aric, Google this. Morel, MORRELL, easy serve, E-Z serve, liver loaf.
Easy barf. Because see, this is one of those entrails and fat kind of dishes that nobody really eats.
And fat. Oh.
Did you find it? And the Morel easy serve liver loaf?
Disgusting.
It says now be vital, be vigorous.
Be nauseous.
Be nauseous.
Can you find it?
Here it is.
Well, this isn't going to be good.
No, that's not what I have. That does. Oh, that's a can. That's like canned liver loaf. That's different. Ready to serve.
Happy they look at the top of that.
You can buy that.
19 and 41.
Oh.
Now see that's a little different. That's almost like a spam version of it.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at is like somebody made it in like a bread pan or something, like a loaf pan.
Yeah.
But all the same. I don't like livers. Did we lose
Aric.
Fiscus? All right. Where'd you go, Fiscus?
I can't believe it. We lost Aric. How we're still in air.
We've never lost Aric. How are we
We've
still
never
in air?
lost Aric.
We're
Let's
freaking
talk
out
about
man.
him.
All right. 18. I'm going to keep
There he
going.
is.
Aric would want us to keep going.
I hit the wrong back button.
It's all right.
Sorry.
We were just saying you would want us to carry on in your name.
Absolutely.
18. I remember these guys, and I didn't mind them. They were crazy crusts in the 2000s at Pizza Hut. They were like a pizza with like a crust with like like pigs in a blanket. Like they were little hot dogs in the crust.
I didn't think I would like it, so I never partook, but I remember them.
And then they also had the same thing, except it was a pretzel crust with hot dogs in the middle of it.
I just thought it'd be a bit much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like my pizza. I don't want a hot dog on my pizza. It's just one of those things.
Aric, you look up pictures of those? Those were pretty popular. Or not popular, but those, I mean, everybody should remember those.
Yeah, I remember that.
They didn't last long.
Is that it right there?
No. Look at that looks like potato skins or something.
I know. That's what I...
Did you look up Pizza Hut? Yeah, you did. Pizza Hut Crazy Crusts.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Yeah, that's it.
It looks like
Tater
a bunch
tots
of mounted.
and garlic knots.
And well,
Wasn't
and
that
the
a
back
Disney
one's a
movie?
pretzel. You know what that bothers me though? I have one of that. I forget what they call that thing people have. You remember for years people would put the flour seeds or whatever, and they would put it on like people's legs and say that it was like a spider bite that had a.
Oh yeah,
about, there's actually a word for that with people that bothers and it bothers me. It used to make me like think about it for days, and that's what those little hot dogs nubs sticking out remind me of.
Yeah. It just kind of looks like a mortar or a cannon about ready to shoot a hot dog at like they're at war and they're going to launch at each other across the pizza.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I there's a lot more on this list. I think we need to make this a two-parter.
Oh yeah.
So I will finish it up with a classic, number 19. That's an odd number to end on, but we're going to end on 19.
And then the 19.
Mac and cheese ring.
Mac and cheese.
Popular in the 1960s by Kraft. 11 cents a serving. This is basically, if you picture like it's basically like mac and cheese baked into a wreath. Is the best way I can describe it.
Mac and wreath.
Yeah. Doesn't look bad. And then this one picture has like a sauce. Look up well, no. That doesn't look bad. That's not what this one looks like. This one has like a yellow sauce on it, like what's the sauce? Like a
cheese sauce?
No, it might be a cheese sauce, but it kind of looks like what's the stuff they put on like eggs Benedict? Hollandaise
sauce.
Like a hollandaise sauce or something. Yeah, the ones you're finding, Aric, look much better than the one that this one is. But I would think that would get a little too close to the casserole category for you two, and your Brady, especially with his hatred of casseroles.
Because I love mac and cheese, and I love baked mac and cheese. But if you put it in a needless ring, that is dancing with the that's dancing with casserole.
Oh,
yeah, that's different. That's inside. Yes, that's alien. It's got ketchup on top of it.
Mac and cheese gelatin ring is what that's entitled.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure that's banned by the Geneva Convention.
All right. That's all I got tonight, folks.
That's
all.
What a way
need.
to end.
All right. You put our windows back in order there. Visit the website once again, playbyyourpodcast.com. You can see our isms. If you click on the isms at the top of the page, you can also click on the store link at the top of the page. You can buy yourself a t-shirt and follow the instructions to do that. Moon River.
Marked safe from quicksand.
Quicksand.
Yes. Quicksand.
Roses are red, violets are purple.
We were talking about maple syrup earlier.
Purple.
Celia still laughs at that every once in a while.
Good evening, John.
Hey, John.
John.
We have 3 Johns in the room.
John.
All right. So we are to the game of the night.
Get out my battle sucker.
Game. Once again, it is time for
Misery Index.
Misery Index.
Kyle King rule in complete effect.
Absolutely, as always. All right. So if you are unfamiliar with Misery Index, we played it several times on the show. I will give our co-host a scenario, and the makers of the game have placed a misery number on said scenario anywhere from 1 to 99. The higher the number, the more miserable the particular situation is, according, again, to the makers of the game. Now, we do not always agree with the makers of the game.
Not at all.
We don't know how they come up with these numbers, but it does make for a good game. So, as always, we drew lots backstage. Brady, you are up.
Just hit my microphone.
Scoreboard in order here. All right. Remember, I will give you the scenario. And Todd, once I give Brady the scenario, he'll give me a number. Todd will give a high or low response. Is it higher than the number Brady gave, or the lower number than Brady gave? And the winner will get the point. Yeah. All right, Brady. So the situation is there is a wasp in your mouth.
In your mouth? Inside?
Inside your mouth.
That's pretty darn miserable, because my last run-in with a wasp was I was on my back deck and I was wearing baggy cargo shorts, and a wasp flew up and stung me at the shelf of my butt cheek, right on the bottom of the cheekage, and it was horribly painful.
A good thing for you it wasn't on the other side.
Yeah.
You may have been like that meme you've been sending out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's pretty darn miserable. I'm gonna say 90, Bob.
90. Todd, wasp in your mouth, higher or lower than 90?
So the one thing this game doesn't give us a lot of context.
No, it does not.
So, and normally that bugs me, and it normally that bugs me, and it keeps me from knowing how to dial in a score. But I think in this case, it's going to help, because if there's a wasp in your mouth, you could always spit it out. I'm going lower.
Lower than 90.
If I may, there's so much for it to hit. It get a lip, an
You
inner
gotta
lip.
but you got to give it a big.
What if it gets under your tongue? You go to expel it, and it gets under your tongue and stings you on the soft under palate.
Here's what we need. Here's what we need our listeners and our watchers to do. Brady, Aric, how many people are watching right now? Anybody?
7.
7. If you're watching, go ahead and record yourself doing your best wasp spit out and send it to us. Because I think if you give it a good, it won't hit anything. It's got enough velocity behind it to where it's not going to hit anything.
So you don't spit it like you would a loogie. So you don't curl your tongue and go.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't want to give it a tunnel. Yeah.
And you also, Brady, you don't want to be like, you don't want to do it scared, like afraid. If you do that, you'll just piss it off and it'll sting you. You got to give it a big. It's got to be no reaction other than just.
I think mine would be because that's what I did.
You suck it in.
The hook on its stinger is gonna catch on my tooth when I thread it out, and it's gonna go down out of spite, and it's gonna get me that. Yeah,
I think if you build up enough backflow, like if you build up enough without inhaling, and you just it's in there, you got to take a beat or two, like, and you push hard enough. I think it'll work.
So Gary typed out that sound that you made, Todd.
Yeah, Gary knows.
THHPPPT.
It's the
ampersand, same. Number sign, dollar sign, percent sign, ampersand.
It's the same way I spit out the coconut on the lamb cake, Gary.
All right.
Or the shredded cheese on the Jell-O.
Put the cheese on the Jell-O. All right. Wasp in your mouth. Brady says 90. Todd says lower. The misery index number is 45.
What's wrong with people?
Because again, Brady, you got to play the game. That's where the context helps, because it doesn't say it has to stay in your mouth. It doesn't even say it stings you. You just have it in your mouth.
It kind of reminds me of those Instagram reels where the dog's got the cicada in its mouth and it's sitting there looking all confused. And it's like, "Rrr," and the thing's chirping inside of its mouth.
Yeah.
Mr. Heron swears he didn't inhale. All right. Todd?
Yes.
Your situation is you eat a bowl. Tying into our food topic here. Eat a bowl of worm spaghetti.
So worm spaghetti, do we mean spaghetti that's shaped like worms, but it's actually still spaghetti?
I'm saying it's actually annelids and sauce.
Yeah.
Here's the picture. They look like tapeworms, but the picture can give you
very
context.
segmented.
Yes.
I mean, people eat worms. I mean, it's.
Well, Bill Gates had his way.
I'm going to.
Trev says it really depends on who made the sauce.
If it's Franco-American or Chef Boyardee, that matters. Because they probably both come out with a version of it. I'm going to go. I hate to do this, but I'm going to go 42.
42.
I know, Brady. That's low of me.
No. You're gaming the way you should game, sir.
So Brady, eat a bowl of worm spaghetti, I should say. Higher or lower than 42?
That's higher, Bob.
Higher. Eating a bowl of worm spaghetti. Misery index number is just barely higher, 46.5, which is worse than having a wasp in your mouth.
Well, because the difference is, if you notice, it said eating as opposed to just it being in your mouth.
That's true.
You had to eat it. It's eating.
All right. Knotted up at 1.
Oh, dog knotted up.
Balloon knotted up.
All right. Brady,
See?
your misery index situation is you lose your laptop.
$55.
55. Todd, lose your laptop. Higher or lower than 55?
I don't think it's the laptop that bothers people. It's the content.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go higher.
Higher. So Brady says 55. Todd says higher on lose your laptop. Misery index number is 47. Brady gets the point.
I still think wasp in your mouth should be higher. But anyway.
Brady takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
Todd, your situation is bleach in eye.
Kind of gives me that my eyes are watering.
Bleach in eye.
72.
Bleach in eye. Todd says 72. Brady, higher or lower than 72?
I'm going to go against my gut instinct. I'm going to say lower. Because these degenerates think that getting a wasp in the mouth isn't
You know
too
who they
bad.
asked for this game? They asked everybody back in the day over at Georgetown wearing shorts in the winter. That's what they asked every one of these questions
That's
to.
exactly. Bleach in the eye, that don't bother me.
I ain't cold. You can put a wasp in my mouth all day long.
Yeah.
Bleach in eye. Todd said 72. Brady said lower. Misery index number is 47.5.
Hogwash.
Bunch of
I got the
middling.
point, and I think it's hogwash.
Bunch of middling miseries here. Brady got the hogwash point. That puts him up 3-1. Look at this.
I'm getting slapped around.
Oh, he
Yes,
dropped
you
it.
are. No, I had to get some more cards.
Years.
Beards.
All right. Brady.
See.
Vomit in public.
Oh. That just happened to me like 2 years ago.
Well, now, I have a question before Brady gives his answer. Do we mean you vomit or you see it?
I'll show you the picture for context purposes.
So
which one's me?
have they just stumbled across it?
No, if you can see, there's vomit on the ground. One hologram, or not a hologram, what do you call those things? Little shadow man, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's kind of bent over with his hands on his stomach. The other is standing there as he had, even though the vomit is yellow, it looks like he had been peed on rather than vomited on. That's supposed to be vomit.
And I assume you're the vomiter and not the vomitee in this situation?
Yes. I mean, that's what the picture leads me to believe.
Yeah, let's play it that way. Vomiting in public. I had to carry a garbage can down the hallway a couple years ago because the stomach bug hit me at school, and I had to barf. I barfed in said garbage can going down the hallway to get to the faculty restroom to finish my purge.
Brady is the barfinest human I've ever met in my life.
Well,
Yes.
It's not often, but when it does, it's epic.
I don't know if he vomits more or goes to the tire store more.
Now, if you vomited in public at the tire store,
if I vomit at Chuck Wade, we've got the bifecta there.
Up Chuck
right.
Wait.
Chuck Wait.
Let's see. All right. I am going to go low on this. I'm going to say 25. It happens to all of us at some
25.
point.
Todd, vomit in public, higher or lower than 25?
Interestingly enough, well, never mind. I'm not going to share that story. I had two stories that I was going to share back to back, but I'm not going to share either one of them. If she is listening, she knows both of them. But I pride myself on the fact that I'm on knock on wood because now I'll get like the stomach bug from hell. But I've been married almost 23 years, and Celia has seen me vomit exactly once in 23 years.
While you were married, or the whole time
Now,
you've been together?
Do you mean you've only vomited once, or she's only seen you vomit once?
That's different.
If I've vomited more than that, it's maybe once or twice.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I don't.
I've that a year.
I fight it.
I'm the same way. I believe, knock on wood, I believe the last time I vomited was 1998. And
hang on a minute. Are you talking about the time you vomited that we know the story about? Was that 98?
No, that was before that.
Okay.
No,
1998. No, I'm not talking about the kid one. I'm talking about a different one where you had some stomach issues.
No, it was before that. It was before 1998.
Okay.
You're talking about the one that had to do with Big Macs? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the one that was like you were the Jackson Pollock of
oh no, that
restroom painters.
That was this same.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the same, yeah, that was 1998. And to be more specific, the day after Thanksgiving, 1998, is the last time
you must have had the Royster dressing.
No, my dad brought the Epizootic with him when he came to Thanksgiving, and it made its rounds because it hit me, and then it hit Jennifer like 2 hours after it hit me. So, knock on wood.
Story about that. Yeah, I remember you telling the story about that.
I have not vomited in 25 years.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
like I said, it's probably been 20. I mean, 23 once. Well, it hasn't been 23, but probably once in 23 years. Now, what the difference is? Yeah, there you go.
Celia says Todd's vomited once the entire time she's known.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
Says what was that? 1990 what?
Well, no, we got married in 2000, but this particular vomiting episode was.
Well, I mean, the entire time she's known you, 1990 what?
1993 is when we first met.
Okay. So now you're talking 30 years.
Well, but we were broken up. No, we were broken up for 5 years. I threw up in there. I know I did. In that 5 years, we were broken up. Yeah.
We were on sabbatical. I barfed.
Yeah.
So are you saying Celia keeps you from vomiting? Is that what you're saying?
So here's how Celia is. I think Celia and Brady are very similar. Celia is the type where when she's feeling bad, she wants to throw up and get it over with and get it out of the way. I'm the type. I will fight it. I'm going to tell you right now, the way I fight throwing up, there's not a person on this planet that can take me because I fight it with, I instantly am bigger, stronger. I'm a black belt in karate. Yeah. I'm everything you can think of. I fight it with everything I have. So the problem with that though is it's funny. The last time I remember having a bad stomach bug, not where I fought throwing up. It was literally 48 hours of me thinking I was going to throw up, being prepared to throw up, but fighting it with everything I had. And it was a miserable weekend. But I think what did it for me is I remember one time when I was little, my mom telling me that if I threw up, I'd feel better. And I threw up and I didn't feel better. I felt worse. And so I don't believe it now. I don't believe people when they say they feel better when they throw up now. I feel like they're lying. And they may not be.
So do you need some time with a therapist because your mother lied to you about if you throw up, you'll feel better?
Well, I've told the stories of my upbringing before, and the reason why I fight throwing up and the reason why I'm still at 46 years old deathly afraid of throwing up is because of my siblings and the way they would tease me when I was little and they would make me think I was going to throw up. They would literally like make me think I would run to the bathroom thinking I was going to throw up because they would tell me I was going to throw up. And I had no. I mean, it literally got to the point where they'd be like, Todd, and I would run to the bathroom. So I don't think my siblings listen to this.
That was Donnie Griffin, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think of my same. They used to smother me with pillows, and that's why I'm claustrophobic. So I do believe that they've made me claustrophobic and vomitophobic. Yes. I say that it's actually true, but I say it like there's no like. I don't want people to think I had like some sort of like bad upbringing. I mean, I was brought up with the best of them. I mean,
just tortured the same way other siblings torture each other.
What was the answer? We've gone down this rabbit hole. And we have not found out.
Brady, you said what again?
Brady said 25. I don't know that Todd has given a higher.
I haven't. I'm going to go lower. I think it's going to be higher though.
Vomit in public. Misery index number is just barely lower, 23.
Oh,
23.
I'll take it.
Do you feel like it's hogwash? Are you debating the point even though you got it?
No, I'll take it.
All right, 3-2. Todd? Your phone falls in the toilet.
So when I was in 4th grade.
You had a phone in 4th grade?
No, I didn't have a phone in 4th grade. You know better. I had we're older than that. In 4th grade, I was out in one of the 2 classrooms out in the separate building.
I
had a vomiting episode in one of those classrooms. Yes, I'm well aware.
Well, I spent 4th and 5th grade out there. And when I was in 4th grade, I had I think I got it for Christmas. It was a belt, like one of those like elastic belt things. And it had a belt buckle, a Velcroed belt buckle that was an Army Jeep, like a Hot Wheel.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And I went to, you remember the bathrooms were in between? It was like a Jack and Jill bathroom type. Well, actually it wasn't, but it was like each classroom had one bathroom in the middle to share. It was one boy bathroom and one girl bathroom.
Right.
I'm pretty sure there was just a toilet, no urinals, if I remember correctly.
It was a single holer.
Yeah. And I was finished with my business and I was trying to buckle my belt back and I dropped my Hot Wheel belt buckle into the toilet. And without even thinking about it.
Had you evacuated the toilet yet?
Well, I had flushed it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. But without even thinking about it, I instantly snaked my hand down into that toilet hole to
rescue this.
Retrieve.
See, I thought you were going with a completely different direction. I thought you were going to say you instantly ripped that out of your belt loops and threw it in the garbage.
No. I mean, think about it. I was proud of that. I mean, to this day, I don't know if they make anything like that. We're an actual like Hot Wheel.
To this day.
Exactly. But in hindsight, it's a bad idea. I mean, because it's bulbous, it sticks out, so it's easy to knock off. You know what I mean? And it was only attached by Velcro. So yeah.
Well,
anyway,
I can make one with my own belt. I can put a Velcro at the bottom of a Hot Wheel and stick it on my.
Well, make sure you use a Hot Wheel and not a Matchbox. I think that actually, I think it was a Matchbox. Now that I think about it, it was.
Well, then you should have just let it go down the toilet.
Should have, yes.
It could because it wouldn't move.
Or was it awful an Erdl or something? Not even a Matchbox. You're a couple grades below Matchbox with like an Erdl.
It was like
RTL.
I guess you guys would compare it to those the Candy Cane Christmas with the fake M&Ms in it. It was like yeah, it wasn't a real solid Hot Wheel.
It was an imposter.
But anyway, without thinking, I reached and grabbed it. So I have to think if your phone did this, you would reach in and grab it. No matter what was in the toilet, you'd reach in and grab it. You guys agree with that part? Like you would like.
Depends on what's there.
Or whose it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. And if there's something in there, I may try to find an implement to fish said phone out of the chasm.
What are you going to? Well, come on, MacGyver. What are you going to dig up to use the fish?
There's probably a toilet brush or a plunger in there.
Excuse me. Bless you. I think it depends. I mean, if there's a floater in there, I mean, I think you're just trying to avoid the floater, don't you? I mean, it's like an alligator in a swamp. You just go the other way.
What if it's an oil spill style?
Ah.
Then you're gonna have to breach to get it.
Everybody that's younger than us are like, what do you mean by that? Wait till you get there.
So,
Again, Brady, I think it depends on if it's yours. So
the phone or the mess?
mess. What are you, 90? You done went and messed yourself. I like how when you refer to it that way, it's like a mistake. Like you done messed up in your pants. Whoops. The correct thing to do is not to go in your pants, and you did not do the correct thing, so you messed up. I mean, I also think it depends how old your phone is. You know, I mean, like if you have a brand new state of the art, like if you have the newest iPhone or the newest, in your case, whatever you guys use, I think that matters. I think it matters where you are, if you're at home or if you're away.
If you're at your home or then you have that fear if it falls in and will it stop up, cause a plumbing incident.
Well, you have to get it out. I mean, you can't just leave it. You have to get it out. I mean, you don't want to do like a bunch of damage to your plumbing. You can't flush your phone.
If it's someone else's plumbing, I mean, leave it.
True. Speaking of which,
laughing at this comment by Trev, did you clean it off like one of those little ducks on the Dawn commercial?
Well, speaking of which, we've had this conversation a few times on this podcast, and we all know this because we all work in education, and I'm sure it's the same in other career fields as well. So I had to use the restroom today, right after recess. So I tell my partner, I'm going to go down and use the restroom. She's watching the kids as they are getting their drinks and washing their hands and going to the restroom after recess. And so I walk in. Well, first off, there's two doors. The first one's locked, so I can't go in. The second one, I walk in, and the smell almost knocks me down immediately. I go over to the toilet, and I see that somebody has left their signature. No. I mean, it's gone, but there's evidence. And in the meantime, I'm thinking, okay, several people saw me walk into this bathroom, so I have a choice to make. So all I did was I grab a piece of toilet paper, I blow my nose very loudly, I wash my hand, and I leave immediately because I wanted them to know that I was blowing my nose in there and not going to the bathroom.
You're not blowing out something else.
Yes. So, have you ever done that? Have you ever been there? You walk in, you're like, I don't want blame for this. I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
You exaggerated. Oh, I had something in my eye.
Yeah.
So here's a question on that note, and I don't know how it works where you all work, but the restrooms, the faculty restroom, the adult restrooms, quote unquote, the sign on the door says leave the lock open so the door doesn't shut all the way. So people don't have to get their key out to get in, and people know when it's available or not available. Yeah. Some people fail to do that. I find it very difficult to go knock on a door thinking someone may be in there. Because when I'm in there and someone knocks on the door, I don't know what the correct response is.
Come on in.
That is not the correct response.
So hang on, back up 1 second. Your doors, you're told not to lock them while you're conducting commerce?
No. When you come out,
so it doesn't shut. So everybody knows.
When you're done with your commerce, you come out, you open the lock so it catches the door before it closes. So the next person coming in doesn't have to use their key to get in there, or
now our bathrooms aren't like that.
It's available.
Our bathrooms lock with the little twisty thing, but when you open them, it unlocks the twisty thing, and they stay shut. You don't have to do that.
Okay. And
but
is there a little sign on the lock that says occupied or unoccupied?
No. We have nothing like that. So here's the two different styles at my work. Celia's style is she always knocks. Always. I never knock.
If the door's shut, she knocks.
Yeah, I never knock. Well, the door's always shut too. I never knock because I assume that everybody's going to do like me and make sure the door's locked. Right. However, in 11 years, I have walked in on 3 people going to the bathroom, but that's on them because they didn't lock the door. And I will say it's a little bit confusing because like it only goes like a half a turn, like, you know what I mean? Like, so you don't exactly, so it's easy to forget. Luckily the 3 people I've walked in on were done. They were finished. They were finished and washing their hands. Actually, except one sub, there was a substitute teacher and they were standing there. It was a male and they were standing there. And this is funny to this day. Like he had on like a long black, like cowboy jacket. And I walk in, I open the door and I hear, I'm sorry. And I walk back out. Other than that, yeah. So anyway, I guess my point is it's a little different situation where I work. Like there's no.
Right.
Yeah.
So when someone is not in there, you can just turn the knob of the door and open it and go in. So if someone goes, so if someone is using it and they don't lock the door, it's on them if they get walked in on. Basically, is your stance.
Yes.
Now Celia would say, "I've also never walked in on anyone," and she also says, "What was he sorry for? You were the one barging in. So you're being chastised here about your habit of not knocking."
Well, so here's what Celia will do. She will try the knob. It won't turn. It's locked. And then I've seen her do it. She's going to argue and say she doesn't, but I've seen her do it. And then she'll knock. And I'm like, if it's locked, you don't need to knock. There's somebody in there. It's the only way the door can be locked is if somebody's in there locking it.
Like in that situation, I'll go up and lightly touch the doorknob to see if it moves. If it doesn't move, I know it's locked and I don't go.
Now I do the opposite. Because of I'm gun shy that I've walked in on 3 people, I will roughly grab the doorknob
and make a lot of noise. Like
let them know coming in. So there's your warning.
Yes. So the onus is on them to yell, "Hey!"
Yeah.
I'm conducting commerce.
I'll be right there.
Yeah. And say to answer your question, I believe he was apologizing because he knew at that moment he had messed up and not locked the door.
Now she says, if the person doesn't respond, then I try the knob. Now, that's what I'm saying. When I'm in there and someone knocks, I go mute. I don't know what to say.
Exactly. Which is why I've told her that method doesn't work.
So Trev says the only appropriate response is "estoy ocupado" in a lispy female voice.
I'll try that, Trevor.
Right.
But I will say, like there is nothing worse, and I don't mean to I'm not making fun of the person that was there before me, but there's nothing worse than when you don't want to be blamed for somebody else's distress. You know?
Oh yeah.
Did we answer this question?
No, we have not. Okay. So phone falls in a toilet.
Is that me to go first?
It's you. Yes.
I thought I went low here. No. See, I think earlier we talked about the computer thing, and I think it's not necessary. It's what's on the phone that's because you got to figure if your phone falls in the toilet, it's done.
Well, you can remotely wipe your phone.
After it's in the toilet. I'm going to go 57.
57. Brady? Phone falls in toilet, higher or lower than 57?
Only because a wasp in the mouth was low, I'm going to say lower.
Lower. Phone falls into toilet, higher or lower than 57? It is lower.
Notice how close these have all been.
Yeah, we've been
very close.
I'm in the Bairn.
You're in the Bairn.
5 or 7? 5?
5.
He's in the Bairn.
King rule is 5. You can sometimes have a special addendum to the Kyle King rule, but the Kyle King rule is 5.
Here's the thing: you even talked to the Kyle King, and got this rule straight, and we still can never remember it for what game and how.
Well,
it works.
he didn't know what the Kyle King rule was, so I didn't get it straight.
Can we can find that episode probably in our catalog and find it? Because we've got to get it straight. Because I think it does matter. It was an important rule.
See, I think it has to do with the higher or lower thing here. I think
it's this game.
I think it evolved in this game.
Yeah. Because at first it was just you had to we each guessed a number, and then Kyle King said, "Let's just do higher or lower."
Is that what it was?
I'm pretty sure
there was some problem with each of you guessing a number.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to figure out, did you have to come closest without going over, that kind of thing?
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, Brady's in the Bairn. Brady,
see,
the one of the universally dreaded things in the world, root canal.
I've never had one, but I know how I feel whenever I visit the dentist, even though my dentist is wonderful.
It's barbaric.
And they've got a soft touch when they're doing the scraping things.
Methods haven't changed since the Spanish Inquisition.
That is true, just with the anesthetic. I am going to say, but I've heard root canals are very unpleasant. And I'm going to say 70%.
70. Todd, root canal, higher or lower than 70?
So I've had 2 root canals, and they really weren't that bad. But I pride myself on my incredibly high tolerance for mouth and dental pain. I've experienced it all my life. It seems like, anytime I've ever had, from a little kid, to here recently, I from May to last month, I went to the dentist more than I had in the last 10 years to get work done. And I had a crown put on. And to me, I had 2 crowns put on side by side. And to me, that was worse than either one of the root canals I've had. But I think it's one of those things where the stigma and a root canal is just known as being just something you don't want to have. But I think that also falls into the whole idea of people in general, I don't believe enjoy going to the dentist. I think people are afraid of the dentist. I don't know where it falls on the list of fears, up there with public speaking and death, but I think dentist is probably top 10.
Yeah.
So I think it gets a bad rep. I'm going to go a little lower though.
A little lower.
Because I think that if you ask 100 people, I think most of the people that have had them would agree with me that they're probably not as bad as what people make them out to be. But then again, the rumor of them being so bad had to start from somewhere. I assume it was from people that had them.
Right.
So
which brings up another question about this game. Are these things rated by people who have had them or just speculation?
Yeah. I mean, I have no point of reference. I
think it depends on the question. It depends on the question. Like if you asked about the phone falling in the toilet, it might be hard to find 100 people that have had their phone fall in the toilet.
Then your metric becomes skewed. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's just all speculation anyway. Root canal, Brady said 72. Todd, you said lower. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Root canal misery index, 28.5.
They're really not as bad as what people think they are.
Yeah, Treva says they aren't bad.
Thank you, Treva.
Had a couple responses here to my question. What do you say? Celia says you can say if you're in the restroom, someone knocks on the door, be right out, occupied, busy, buzz off, etc. Treva says if someone knocks, just say just a minute, finishing up the paperwork. I like that answer, but it's not always paper. Matter of fact, with my home field advantage clause, it is not paperwork ever. So I can't really say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I tend to think you don't need to say words, just a grunt or a cough.
No.
Dying in here.
So, or you just spit the wasp out.
Yeah. I tell you what I have done. If someone's asked me, I've flushed just to let them know. Like,
Mhm.
A courtesy
hey,
flush.
no, not a courtesy flush. Just this is my retort. If you knock this, you knock, I flush. It lets you know what you need to know.
Report after the report.
Yes.
All right, so I got to change the scoreboard here. It's now 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
4-3. Todd.
Yes.
Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family. Now, I would say there's no such thing as a functional family, but there are levels of dysfunctionality, but they're all dysfunctional.
This one's interesting since C is watching.
Tread lightly.
And I'm sure she'll have something to say. So I guess my question would be, what does the picture show, Aric?
A flaming turkey.
A flurky.
Flurky. Flurky.
Flurky, gurky, gurky, durky. Oh my goodness. I think a lot of people their answer would change based on whether it was family or in-laws. Like you know what I mean? Not that in-laws aren't family, but
so you're saying Celia's answer to this would be different based upon so you would have divergent answers.
yeah, well, this is interesting because I have Celia listening. I have Trevor listening. Gary was listening. So I have several different layers of family.
Gary is still listening because he responded just now to you say, did you hear someone knocking when someone knocks on the door?
So again, I think it really just depends. Are we talking can you repeat the question?
Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family.
Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional. So it's telling you right away they're dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Right. But again, I would say there's no such thing as a functional family, but
yeah.
Gary says, be honest, Todd.
I love every get together with my family. Trevor
Hagman's starting to sweat.
Yeah.
According to Trev.
This is one of those ones though where I really do think it's going to be close to 50-50. I don't want to punk out and do that. I'm going to go relatively low here. I'm going to go 27.
27. Brady, Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family. And I guess it matters where you put the emphasis on which syllable. Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family or Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family.
Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family.
Right.
Dysfunctional family. Okay. I'm going to go back to the wasp in the mouth thing.
Get over it, Brady. You're winning.
I can't.
You even got that point and you're still complaining about it.
Oh,
yeah.
He didn't.
No, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It was way too low.
See, that was the one point I've gotten that I've earned. I played the game. It didn't say the wasp was in there for long. It didn't say it was eating it, biting your tongue. It just said it flew into your mouth.
I see. I'm gonna overthink this because if wasp in the mouth was low, somebody who thinks the wasp in the mouth is low is gonna probably think that dysfunctional family is worse than wasp in the mouth. So I'm gonna go higher.
Higher. So Thanksgiving with your dysfunctional family. Todd said 27. Brady said higher. Misery index number is slightly higher, 29. And by the almost slimmest of margins.
If you added up the margins of not since my junior year.
Here we go.
The final score between our last basketball game and the state championship was like 5 total points. That's what this was. Reminiscent.
Ah, the good old days.
Yes.
Brady is victorious, 5-3.
Yes.
In the misery index. I am not a crook. All right, good game, gentlemen. Good game.
Good game. Good evening.
Right. Anything else for the good of our order here?
No. I can't think of anything.
I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. All right. As Todd mentioned, the audio version of this podcast. Actually, I put the last couple out on Monday, but I try for Friday morning. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Friday morning is my goal, 3 a.m. But anyway, when it comes out, if you've listened before and you've subscribed, please subscribe, by the way. If you subscribe, you get the notification that it's there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. And most anywhere else you can find podcasts video-wise. You can also find it on Spotify, on our YouTube channel. Search Play It By Ear Podcast. Also follow our channel on Twitch. Also be found at Play It By Ear Podcast if you do that search. Social medias, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagrams. All those links are on our website, playitbyearpodcast.com. Interact with us via email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. Leave a voice message. You can click at the link at your podcast provider at the iHeartRadio app. It is called the Talkback feature. Looks like a microphone. You can leave us a message. Please leave us a message. We've been begging for months, and we've been saying we'll give you a T-shirt if you leave us a message. Yet no one has taken.
Apparently, you guys don't like soft and supple T-shirts.
Yeah, well,
Aric, I will say this, and I'm only going to say it. I'm only going to say it online because who knows? Maybe other people are having the same issue. But my dad has told me a couple of times he's having a hard time with the buy me a coffee thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He did not stop. Whatever you would call it, subscription,
actually,
or whatever. But he's
actually I got a message that he did. But
no, it was something about a card changing, like a card changing. He's tried to like change the card number or whatever, or change the payment, whatever it is, and he says it's not taking it or whatever. So I told him I would have you look at it. So I didn't know if you wanted to make an announcement about the buy me a coffee option.
Yeah. So if you go to our website, there's a membership link that will take you to Buy Me a Coffee. That's our crowdsourcing platform. You can become a member of the podcast. And you can enter your information. It's a platform called Stripe, which deals with the credit cards, but you can do that there on the site. I'm not sure what the problem was with that, but maybe if he deactivated the subscription, then tried to reactivate it, maybe that would help.
I think it was a matter of a card, like getting a new card or something. And it, you know how like if you have your old card on file, it won't take the payment or whatever. Right. I think it was something to do with that, because he told me about it a while back, and then like out of the blue the other day, I saw him and he brought it up again that he was trying to get his card to work, and you know. He didn't want us to think he'd stop doing the donation or whatever, but
yeah,
you know, I think if you guys have some crumbs out there and you want to support us, I think educating people with things like chub of bologna is well worth it. So,
I mean, these are valuable pieces of information,
because nobody knew that until tonight, thanks to Trevor.
Celia has done research.
Research.
The Kyle King rule is referenced in episode 56. Therefore, it was established prior to number 56.
Okay. Well, Aric, do you have, when we name these, you put the game in, don't you? You put the name of the game. So we could look before 56 for any time we played Misery Index.
Yes, true.
And if it truly was Misery Index, it might not have been, though. It might have been that game where we do, where Brady always gets all of his damn aquatic and naval questions.
Chicken or egg or
Yeah.
We'll do some research on that. Trip. Get a T-shirt with a chub of clown meat on it, and I'll probably buy one.
That sounds like some old catfishing bait or something like that. You all got that chub of clown meat over there?
Right with the Wheatie balls. Gonna get us go canoodling.
The grass carper bite. You got to care for that. Mind the mud vein.
You got to
Good eating.
Cut out that mud vein. All right.
We should make a chub of clown meat shirt. Trevor, you get it designed, buddy. You get it designed, and we will make it happen.
We'll market it.
Yes.
Yeah. Or maybe 3 chubs of clown meat with our faces on them.
and one of us has a frown away, and it'll be 2 clowns and 1 frown meat.
That is awesome.
This is amazing.
Trev says already on it.
All right.
He said that'll be a fun T-shirt to wear on Casual Friday. All right.
Clown Meat Friday.
Well, I think we've done enough damage here, gentlemen.
Yes, we have.
All right, Todd, take us out.
Oh, I'm supposed to do that. I got my fingers mixed, my digits mixed up.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.